The Supercube just sounds like a discount video game console. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we're here with my first impressions to episode 1 of The Supercube. So this is a newly airing donghua that just started this spring season. There are only 3 episodes out so far. I don't know offhand what day it comes out, but I actually heard about this because of Danny Mata. So for those who don't know, Danny Mata is a reactor here on YouTube. His reactions are a little different than a lot of people's. He focuses more on like comedy and jokes and everything, while still, giving his actual thoughts on a series and whatnot. Um, but he like exaggerates certain things and like records like scripted exaggerations of his actual thoughts and reactions to the episodes. Anyway, point is, I saw a video of his on TikTok because I check out his stuff on TikTok every now and again. And he posted a video talking about this series. Like I said, it's a brand new donghua that just came out, 3 episodes so far. And the Supercube apparently has like drop dead gorgeous animation. However, Danny made it clear that this is actually an extremely hard series to find. It is only legally available for streaming on a single site, which is something I've never heard of. Apparently, it's specifically for donghua. It's called IQLYL. Don't know what like that's meant to mean or whatnot, but yeah, apparently this is the only legal streaming site you can find this series on. And according to Danny, the player on that site has some issues, like with just resetting the video playback at points randomly. Um, there are some other sites you can find it on, some less than legal streaming sites, but I checked the only couple I could find because most of the sites don't have it still, at least for now. And those couple sites don't have any download options. Um, I managed to figure out how to get one to download using um a Chrome thing. God, what is it called? My mind is completely blanking. An extension. Because you can use Chrome extensions on Opera. Opera and Opera GX both allow you to use Chrome extensions, as well as the regular Opera extensions. It's really cool, actually. But yeah, so I found an Opera one that allowed me to download the episode, but the subtitles weren't in the episode. Um, the subtitles were like a part of the player. So then I had to either find another file that had the subtitles or figure something else out. That's when I found out the episode was actually on YouTube as well. Like they put it for free on YouTube. And it's like, okay, but if I download off of YouTube, again, the subtitles are part of the YouTube player. So I'm looking up and it's like, is there a way to download subtitle files? Because I know like VLC Media Player has a specific thing for that on it. It has a tab for subtitle tracks that you can like add to it and everything. And so I looked up, and yes, there is actually websites you can use to download specifically the subtitle tracks from YouTube videos. And so I did that. I downloaded the English subtitle track from the official YouTube video, and I added it into the VLC player for the episode. And I checked like how the episode starts and everything, and it seems like it has all the same credits and everything, so it should be perfectly synced. That was something I was worried about. I did go and check like maybe 5 seconds some at one point in the episode just to make sure the subtitles were going along with the timing of how they were speaking, and they were. I wasn't really paying attention to what was being said, but I was making sure on the timing, and the subtitles were switching at the right time. So I assume it's all perfectly synced, and since the subtitles are on the official YouTube video, along with a lot of other subtitles, I assume they're correct. So hopefully this entire situation I had to figure out to get this to even work is going to make it worthwhile. And I know I could have just watched it off the browser, but I've talked about before how I don't tend to like doing that. Because the issue with that is that sometimes you'll have a lot more lag and a lot more issues that way. So whether on the official site or another site, like I didn't want to, if I could help it, even with YouTube, I try not to like watch off the browser as much as possible. Downloading it to VLC, like VLC has its own share of issues, but it's more consistent in terms of working from my experience. But that being said, so I know nothing about this other than apparently it has great animation. I've seen like a small clip of like the animation. It did look really good, to be fair. But I don't know anything about the story. I've never even heard of this prior to seeing that Danny Mata TikTok. So I'm going into this not knowing at all what to expect. I think Danny did say like it's kind of like DBZ, something like that. Which the clip he was showing had a lot of like action and whatnot. It looked like it was a fight or something. So, I mean, that doesn't explain much though, because it's like, okay, it's a lot like DBZ in terms of what? The fact that it has fights? Like, he didn't actually go into detail, or if he did, I wasn't really paying that much attention. But yeah, I don't know what to expect at all in terms of like how the story goes or whatnot, or just what it's about in general. Because, again, I've never heard of this. And even when getting the video, I didn't look anything up. So I'm going into this as blind as I can. But yeah, apparently this is a new donghua. I don't know if it's popular. That's another thing to note. I don't know if this is well received. Because, one, it's new, but also, again, I have not looked anything up for this, including what people think of it. So this is really fucking blind. Which, as I've stated before, is what I enjoy doing. I like to react to things as blind as possible because it gives the most genuine reaction for you guys. It allows it to be the most real. If I know stuff going in, even if it's just a small amount, it can oftentimes skew how I'm going to view the series. Like, if I go into a series knowing it's going to have some fucked up shit in it, I'm going to be ready for that. It's not going to surprise me. Meanwhile, I watched Symphogear for the first time back when I started reacting to that. That surprised me because I didn't know that was going to have fucked up shit in it. I thought Symphogear was going to honestly be pretty chill. But then the first episode starts off and it's like really quickly gets into some really crazy shit. And it caught me entirely off guard. And that's why I like to be blind. Because of stuff like that. I want more Symphogears like that. That take me completely off guard with their with what they do. And I'm not saying they all need to be like crazy and fucked up. But just in general. I want to be surprised. So we're going to check this out, see what it's like. And for those of you who don't know, a first impression basically means I'm going to check out this first episode and determine if it's something that I want to react to more in the future, something I would rather watch on my own time, or something that I'm just not interested in and don't plan to pursue any further. It's going to be one of those options, but I will determine that after I check out this first episode. So, let us get to this and see what we have in store. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, this ended very suddenly. It just kind of ended. Also, it ended up being like, without the opening, like, what, 17 minutes long, which is pretty short. Because I think that the opening was like 18 something. And it's just like, wow, okay. That was shorter than I expected. I mean, only by like, what, a matter of like a few minutes, but still. Maybe that was just the first episode. Maybe future episodes will be a little longer. The ending was really abrupt, though. It's like, fulfill your wish of becoming king of the world, and then it just like kind of fades out weirdly. But that's my only issue with this. Um, yeah, I mean, the little bit I saw of the animation in that clip that I saw on the Danny Mata TikTok was nothing compared to just how phenomenal, how like breathtaking the animation was in total. And I don't know if that's going to continue throughout the entire thing. I assume it probably will. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that all works. So, the super cube gives the power of teleportation, seemingly this other level of like combative superpowers with like aura and attacking and whatnot. Um and I guess probably time travel, because that's what it seemed like was happening, right? Um, but then it kind of goes back and kind of like explains how we got there. So, let me see if I can get these names down. Our main character is Wang Xiaoshu, who is kind of just an ordinary dude, kind of shy, cutesy. Like I said in the reaction, soft, but I mean that in a positive way, as in he's very gentle and kind. Um, he has this crush on a friend of his, a childhood friend of his, named Shen Yao. And during a karaoke, also Jenga night, she ends up admitting, while around all these other friends, that she likes him too. However, one specific guy who's been crushing on her, Soon Jun, didn't like that. He actually took quite the great offense to it. And he and his homies, I guess, start to beat the shit out of Wang. Completely unfairly. And they even like FaceTime Yao and make her watch, which is really fucked up for a number of reasons. Because especially he's like, oh, look how much this pervert who's been bothering you, look what's happening to him. And she's like crying out and like obviously scared and freaked out by this. It's like, do you think she likes what you're doing? Do you think she's going to choose you after this? Also, the fact that he thinks that that's how this all works, that romance is like earning like being with someone. It's like it's not how it is. Cuz that kind of like views people as property and stuff, the way that he was viewing it. It's like, no, she just doesn't like you. You can't earn your way into that. She likes Wang because he's a good dude and because she's known him for all this time. It has nothing to do with him earning that. um, but when Wang decides to fight back, he headbutts one of the dudes beating him up and falls back into the river, which scares the punks because they, like I said in the reaction, didn't have any plans to kill him. They just wanted to beat him up. Because they know they could get in big trouble if they killed him, and that's not what they want. But during this entire event, while drowning in the river, Wang ends up coming across the super cube. This, I guess, alien tech that gives him the ability, at least for now, to teleport. And obviously it'll give him more as it goes on. But he has now the ability to teleport, and the cube seems to teleport him based on his desires at the moment. I don't know what the entire King of the World situation is, because he's clearly not the kind of person who would be worried about that. Um, but yeah, either way, he now has the ability to teleport, the ability to stand in midair and stuff, and just all kinds of crazy shit. And more to come. So it's really starting to like just introduce things in this episode, really get us invested. The cold open with the big action scene, the big fight scene, was definitely to get our attention. The animation was like even better than it normally is, and during the rest of the episode, it's still phenomenal. But it's like just at a whole nother level. Like honestly, and I have no idea what people would think of this statement, but the animation in that cold open alone was probably like top 3 best animation I've seen in like all of anime, donghua, Western animation, etc. Like, I would say it's actually actively better than, for example, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. I would say it's actively better than Demon Slayer. And as much as I, like, have complained about Demon Slayer for other stuff, the animation is the one thing that absolutely I will agree is phenomenal with Demon Slayer. Like, that was always one of my notable things with it. The animation is amazing. But I would say this is better. It's, like, intensely like fluid. There's so much like depth of movement and visual style to it. You know what it kind of reminds me of? The highest level of animation that we got in the Wano arc of One Piece, like when it really hit like extremely hard, like episode 10, 15 and whatnot, where it's just like the animation went like insanely over the top, like phenomenal for very little reason other than just it's cool. And showcasing like just how like phenomenal it can look. It's so phenomenal. It's like definitely one of the best examples of like animation I've seen, period. Um Outside of that, the story right now is good. Nothing amazing, but good. It instantly connects us to the characters. It makes us understand and like them, endears us to them, basically. Our main character, Wang, he's a cool guy. He seems very likable, very nice. His love interest, Yao, again, very likable, very nice, very cutesy. And then, of course, we have Soon Jun, who is a problem. We hate him. But he's written to be hated in that way. So, success, honestly. The Super Cube itself, I like its sass. I mentioned it reminded me of, like, Cuff from Forspoken. For those who don't know, Forspoken is a game in which the main character, Frey, has, like, this magical talking arm cuff on. And part of the game's mystery is what the fuck is up with the Cuff. But Cuff is very sassy. He's like kind of like having like these kind of ridiculous chats with the main character, with Frey, all the time. And so it's the Super Cube seems to have that same level of sentience and almost that same level of sass. Not quite to the same degree, but it definitely looked like the Super Cube was having a personality, to say the least. And I appreciate that. It makes it more interesting. Excuse me. The biggest thing I'm worrying about that though now is how the time travel works. I wonder how long it's going to take for him to get to that point. Because he definitely seemed older and everything, and a lot more serious, too, at the beginning. There's also the fact that Soon Jun seemed to sense him when he was standing in the air. Of course, that could have also just been him, like, hearing Wong yell out in surprise and everything. So, to be fair, that might not have been like any extra sensory thing, or Soon Jun having any kind of powers of his own, though. Who knows? We also have the beginning with Yao getting targeted by these like guys in suits. Like this is some Matrix shit or something. And obviously Wong coming to the rescue. So why were they targeting her? And in the past, especially. That could mean a number of things, I feel. And it's just impossible to really say at this point what could come of that. We need a lot more context. But yeah, this was a really, really good start. Like this really kicked the series off in a like phenomenal way that got and kept my attention. And, you know, I just find myself interested in on a base level. So I'm very excited to see where this goes, and as that is clearly saying, yes, we will be reacting to this in the future. I don't know when, just like with any first impression, it's going to be whenever I not only have a spot open to get to it, but also when I am kind of feeling in the mood for this series. Because it's a matter of multiple things when I react to something like this. Now, when I end up getting to this, I don't know if it's going to be like on other sites at that point, if it's going to be easier to get, because I don't want to go through the entire hullabaloo that I did for this one. If I have to, I might end up watching future ones offline after all, like off the browser. I would really rather not if I can help it, but we'll see when it comes down to that point. This is definitely something I am excited for, and I hope that it ends up being really fantastic moving forward. So, for the time being, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of this first episode of the Super Cube? And what did you think of the animation, the power system so far, etc., etc.? Let me know down below, and for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.